Chapter 1. The Ashen Throne. The winds howled through the darkened vale of Varathan as the city prepared for its final breath. It was the hour before dawn, when even the bravest men and women of the realm whispered of forgotten kings and lost dreams. But in the heart of the ancient keep, King Theron Valamir stood alone, staring into the darkness that stretched beyond the walls. The throne of Varathan, the Ashen Throne, had been empty for too long. No one dared sit upon it, for it was said to bear the weight of 1,000 souls, 1,000 broken dreams, and 1,000 promises unfulfilled. Theron wasn't the first to claim it, but he would be the last. His father had died in the fire, not by sword, not by dagger, but by the flame that burned from within, a fire that consumed everything it touched, and left nothing but ashes. Theron, son of fire, was not made to rule. He was made to burn. And yet, as he stood before the throne, he could feel the weight of 1,000 lifetimes pressing against him. His hands were stained, not just with blood, but with the ashes of the past. His mother had died to see him wear this crown. His father had burned, leaving behind a legacy of war and conquest. The crown was no longer just a symbol of royalty. It was a symbol of death, a curse that weighed heavier than any man or woman could bear. The throne room echoed with silence. A handful of loyalists stood behind him, Kyle Varel, his captain, and Vesra, his advisor. Neither spoke, for they knew that the time for words had passed. Theron stepped forward and touched the throne. His fingers burned against the cold stone, as if the seat itself had absorbed the heat of every battle ever fought within these walls. "I do not want this," Theron whispered to himself. "I do not want the ashes of the past." But the throne, like the fire that had consumed his family, did not care what he wanted. "The throne is yours, Theron." Vesra, his voice broke the silence. "You are the last. You are the heir to the flame." Theron turned to face her. Her eyes were cold, calculating, and yet there was a sadness in them. "I did not ask for this," he said again, his voice heavy with the weight of truth, "but it is mine now." With that, Theron stepped up to the ashen throne and sat down. The flames of the hearth roared to life, casting dancing shadows across the walls, and for the first time, the ashen throne embraced its rightful king. Theron closed his eyes, feeling the power of the flame surge through his veins. It was not the power of a king, but the power of something far darker, far older, a power that could burn everything in its path. He opened his eyes and gazed into the flickering flames. The throne was not just made of stone. It was made of the fire that had consumed everything in its wake. He was not the king of Varathan. He was the king of ashes. And in that moment, Theron understood something he had never known before. He wasn't meant to rule. He was meant to destroy. The throne had chosen him. The fire had chosen him. And as the flames burned higher, Theron, his thoughts turned to the path ahead. The road to war had already begun. The kingdoms around them were restless, their ambitions rising like smoke on the horizon. But Theron would not bend. He would not flee. Theron Valamir was born of fire, and it was fire that would shape his destiny. As he sat upon the throne, the flames flickered in his eyes. End of Chapter 1.